Hello, ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2017 LMS Summer Split. Day 2 action here in Week 7 got going on. AHQ versus Hong Kong Attitude. Game 2. Game 1, of course, going over to Hong Kong Attitude, as you can see on your screen, to the surprise of many, except maybe the players of Hong Kong Attitude who seem to know exactly what they were doing last game, snowballing that victory while using their team comp properly. It was a beautiful thing to see. We'll see if AHQ can regain their composure coming here in game 2 and take one back. Bans so far on the blue side is going to be the Callista, Jace, and Cassidon. So taking some power picks out of each lane, trying to cover the board there. Hong Kong Attitude, meanwhile, banning out the Talia and Zac. Will we see that standard Caitlyn ban as well, or are they going to let that go through to Anne? I would assume that would be first picked. Elise also going to be available for these champions. Thresh, first pick worthy a lot. We've even seen Braum a few times. Of course, Callista taken off the board, so that's obviously not going to be the first pick. And it looks like they didn't ban anything. I'm not sure if they had lost a ban or if they just decided to play some mind games, but no ban coming from the side of Hong Kong Academy for the last one, so not sure whether that was a mistake or not. Caitlyn will be most likely locked in here for the side of AHQ. That one would go on to on. And it looks like we're just going to continue on here, so either Hong Kong Attitude lost a ban for some reason, or they just decided not to, or they ran out of time. I'm not sure. Either way, this is what we got right now on your screen. Caitlyn's going to be picked over to the side of AHQ. Hong Kong Attitude respond with the Thresh and Gragas. So picking up a lot of CC already for themselves. Going to have that tanky jungler, so might open up the possibility for a carry top laner onto Riris. He did very well on the Jace last game. Got so far ahead onto it, it was pretty disgusting. Ziv did not have a good time. Mountain is going to lock in that Braum for themselves, so they're going to be picking that up. Peely, defensive, re-engage support. I have heard a lot of people say, actually, that Thresh is good into Braum. We'll see how that matchup ends up going down. Corki going to be locked in as the last pick of the first phase for AHQ. So again, HQ going with a bit of a, not a bit of a literal double 80 carry team comp. We've seen this quite often from these teams. Of course, Corki very popular in the mid lane right now. He's able to have a pretty decent laning phase and then scales quite well, offering decent team fighting as well as split push pressure, especially when you have the package up. It will be the Orianna pick from Hong Kong Attitude, so maybe looking for a bit of a team fighting composition. See what the bans are. Sejuani taken away. Going to look to maybe target the champion pool of Mountain here. Interesting to see Hong Kong Attitude lock in their mid laner so early. It really tells me that they have a team comp in mind that they want to stick to, because they have the chance to counterpick, of course, if you want to save that for last, which we see a lot of teams do on the red side, but they're going to go ahead and lock it in for themselves early. Rek'Sai will be the second ban of Hong Kong Attitude. It looks like it'll be the 80 carry target. Jin taken away from Unified. Take him off that playmaking mid-game 80 carry. Camille going to be the second ban, so they can sense that Rivers maybe wants to play a carry top laner. Jace, of course, already banned out. We'll see what Hong Kong Attitude have in store. Maybe looking to take even more engage and CC from the side of their 80 carry. Hovering that Ashe pick. Ashe, of course, pretty decent laner in her own right. Does not quite beat the Caitlyn out, but is going to be able to probably farm up decently well. That will be the lock-in. We'll see what AHQ decide to round out their composition with. They're going to need probably at least one more tank. And they are also going to need probably a little bit more engaged. May look to even see Jarvan in the top lane. For the side of AHQ, it's going to be the Elise lock-in. Elise hover at least. So there's the lock-in. It's going to be the Elise jungle. They're looking to grab some early game pressure. They don't want to give it up too hard, especially when you got that double 80 carry composition. If you give up the lead, very difficult. If you can get the lead, however, though, things become a lot easier, obviously, with the objective control that they can have. And Renekton also a pretty good pick. They're looking to actually grab a lot of winning lanes on the side of AHQ here. If that is the lock-in, Hong Kong Attitude will have the pick into it. As you can see, Jason Camille already taken away. Nar's going to do just as well into that lane. He is the counter that most people like to pick into the Renekton, so a bit odd that AHQ would ban out 2 carry top laners but leave the Gnar open and pick Renekton. So a bit of a head scratcher there from AHQ, maybe a bit of a whoopsie from the draft. Maybe he didn't think Rivers would play that one, but he definitely is going to. So there's the team composition. Hong Kong Academy, not shy at all to show you what they're trying to do with this team composition. It's all about fighting, engaging. They're going to be looking to make a lot of plays here in the mid-game, I can assure you. Meanwhile, AHQ has a lot of winning lanes, actually, so they might look to just try to suffocate Hong Kong Attitude before they can even get to that point. Work with these 80 carries to take down the objectives. Keep pressure on the lanes. If they can start knocking down towers, they may just be able to run away with this one. But, of course, Hong Kong Attitude, I would have to say, maybe with a little bit of an easier team composition to pull off. See what AHQ is definitely trying to do here, trying to pick almost 3 winning lanes in a sense. Corky's going to be very competitive, but the Nara pick is actually really nice for Hong Kong Attitude because that means they're going to have a push advantage eventually in the top lane. Nara will win out that Renekton if everything goes to plan. As you can see, coaches shaking hands. They will exit the stage, and you have your team compositions on your screen right there. We will go ahead and jump into this game. Back up a little bit here. Just see what these teams have set up for us defensively early on in this one. Looks like there was a little bit of a attempt from Hong Kong Attitude to get some information on where Mountain is starting on this Elise, and they will come in here. Already got one more down. Dodges out the Frost Bomb. Early advantage. Gets hit by the Frostbite across the wall. HQ have the numbers advantage here, so I'm sure they're feeling pretty good. They do want to get the Super Elise off, it looks like. Mission trying to grab one of those little raptors for himself. It's not going to work. So it's just going to be a little bit of a pesky invade, but nothing really going to happen from it. Looks like Hong Kong Attitude will get the lane first, though, because of that Super Leash. So they're going to have a little bit of a push advantage for the first few waves. HQ going to have to wait it out a little bit. You can definitely see as well what AHQ is trying to do. They're trying to get pressure through these lanes and use the Elise to mount that pressure even further. Might look to even see Mountain try to get in there and spot out Gemini to make sure his lanes can just be free to win on their own. Might see some action here in the top lane, actually. I have a feeling this swing of this matchup is going to be pretty crucial. If Ziv can actually get going on this Renekton, AHQ can really start to put their team composition to work, but if Riris is able to get an advantage, especially through the help of Gemini, which I assume will be a little bit of priority at least. Now, Riris did spot Mountain doing his blue buff, so he knows there's a chance he's in the area, which is why you can see him playing a little bit passively. He is in the Mega Gnar, so has to be a bit careful. Mountain being very patient with this one. He's trying to bait Riris into thinking that he is not in the area anymore. He certainly is, though. There's the Mini Gnar. He hits level 3. He's going to ward down. I think he might have spotted him. There's no pings going down, though. Of course, they are obviously on voice comms, so that could just as easily work. HQ got to be a bit careful in the bot lane. While their jungler is topside, they should suspect that this is a possibility, especially when they don't have any vision. There is the ward spotting out Mountain. And now on the bot side, and in a bit of trouble, the flash is not going to get him far enough away. Nice shield, though, coming down from the Braum to keep him safe. He's going to burn both summoners, but get out with his life. Hong Kong Attitude with the early aggressive play with the Gragas there. Do force out the summoners. Meanwhile, on the top side, Riris was able to keep his flash. Good job by him soaking up this pressure nicely. Mountain is just trying to be as annoying as possible. He really wants to zone Riris off. He knows the bot lane just got ganked, so he's trying to even out some of the pressure on the other side of the map. As you can see, Riris is actually still respectively keeping up in farm in this matchup. This pressure from Mountain is being a little bit wasted right now. I definitely see the merit in going up there for the early gank, but when it doesn't work out, you sometimes just have to give up on it. Meanwhile, here in the mid lane, honestly a pretty even matchup. I don't think there's much kill potential coming on either side without the help of junglers. It's going to mostly be a little farm off. Orianna might have a bit of advantage once you get some levels into your Q and W. Store going to go in for a bit of a trade there. Watch out for those minions. So Mountain returns to his jungling. A little bit of an unsuccessful gank from the top, especially compared to Gemini's in the bottom. He was able to burn 3 summoners. So that definitely might open up the possibility of a return gank. And the thing, when you have winning lanes, it usually means that you have pushing lanes as well, which is a lot of the time where these teams get their pressure that they can work with. But it does open up the opportunity to get ganked if you're pushing up the lane all the time. As you can see here, they're pretty far pushed. They don't have any vision. Thankfully for them, Gemini is not on that side of the map. They're going to take this opportunity to back off. So they know they need a little bit of vision before they can keep this play up. They do have Elise on the bottom side. So they are feeling pretty confident about pushing that one into tower at least. Unified going to do his best effort under this tower to keep those CS numbers up. Gemini now visiting the top side. It's a bit of a strange gank as Riris is actually pushing right now. Might have been there just for the counter actually. Now that I think about it. Wants to make sure Riris is able to push up that lane comfortably and recall, much like on the bottom side. That ward is going to spot out Albus there. He's not trying to do a gank or anything. He's just getting some vision control down for his team. Kaiwing will spot out that control ward, so it won't be long for this world unless Albus wants to defend it. One more auto attack. He's going to scare Kaiwing away for now, actually. He's not feeling too safe. Doesn't have any more vision except that one ward there, so. Better safe than sorry for Kaiwing on that Thresh. Definitely doesn't want to be the one to give over the first blood. 6 minutes into this one, gold basically even across the board. Tiny bit of a CS advantage coming, especially at that top side, thanks to all the pressure exerted from Mountain. So it does add up a little bit. Gnar definitely not going to be super unhappy at the start of this game. He didn't have to go down or burn any summoners. He's just going to have to play it a bit more patiently and try to hope his team is able to use pressure on the other side of the map. Mountain has returned, and is this going to be the aforementioned Renekton Elise dive buddy combo? Here's the ult coming, Dominus pop, flash away from Riris, and he gets the jump. Flash, Cocoon actually lands onto him, and that's going to be first blood over to the side of AHQ. Beautifully played by them. Have to burn both flashes, but it is so hard to get away from so much CC. And that is well played to the side of AHQ. They're going to be able to grab that kill. Riris is going to suffer a little bit, losing some CS. He does have TP, but it has to be careful he doesn't get ganked again. Gemini going to use that opportunity to exert a little bit of pressure on the bottom side here. To invade with his team. Grab up this red buff for himself. It should be traded over, though. Mountain should be able to grab that one on the top side. So definite advantage coming out for AHQ there, picking up the first blood. As you can see, pulled out to about a 1,000 gold lead. Riris now cautiously moving forward into his own jungle. Wants to make sure Elise has returned back, but she definitely has not, going in onto mission. He's dropping pretty low. The Elise is as well, though. Repel to buy some time. Drops back down onto Orianna. She will go down. Riris picks up that one. Shockwave, get a whiff onto both of them, and that is Westdoor going down. And here comes Riris continuing the chase. Gemini has roamed up to help his team. That is going to be another kill going over to Hong Kong Academy. Hong Kong Attitude, sorry, that is. 3 for 0 over to that red side. Beautifully played. The collapse was there faster. And you would hope, or you would assume actually, if Mission Shockwave was a little better, that even would have went better. But a 3 for 1 is definitely going to make Hong Kong Attitude feel very good. Hook not quite going to land onto On. So here we see the idea from Mount was sound. He knows that they would have a feeling that he's going for the red buff, so he tries to cut off Mission, but Westdoor was not quite in position. Mission was able to basically solo out that kill. A little bit of an unfortunate shockwave, of course, but as you can see, more members from HKA. Definitely more healthy members, as Elise was a little bit overstayed her welcome, you might say. That is going to be a big turnaround, actually. Basically evens up the gold here, even after giving up the first blood. No red buff to the side of Elise either. She's going to be pretty sad about that one. She has returned to this top side, though, looking to retake control of it. Mountain Gemini has shown up, actually, and he might be in a bit of trouble. He repels. He will get over the wall. Riris will be able to follow, but he's got a tower he's got to get past first. Looks like Ziv is on the way, trying to help his jungler out, but they are so tanky. Westdoor with the package, though, roaming out first. Riris might have gone in a bit too deep. He did. He goes down, the first kill. But here comes the reinforcements from Hong Kong Attitude. Shockwave is almost up. If they want to get in there, no flash onto Gemini means that they probably can't follow. Kaiwing trying to get the hook onto somebody here. They're going to call the play off for now. So just one kill going over to the side of AHQ, tying it up in that regard. I like the idea from Hong Kong Attitude, trying to punish Mountain for being aggressive. Fortunately for them, Riris went a bit too deep when he jumped over that wall. His team couldn't quite get there in time. It's going to be 3 kills now onto this Renekton. Talk about snowballing this matchup. He's also up over double the CS of Riris. Thankfully for that, Gnar, he was able to pick 2 kills up of his own, so he's not going to be horrendously far behind, but he is still Gonna have to bow down to this crocodile for a little while, I'm afraid. As the first tower also being threatened here on the top side. As you can see, Mountain continuing to return to this top lane. It's the matchup that he thinks is most important right now, getting this snowballing, shutting down the Gnar. It's going to do a lot. We'll just show up here and shove Rurus off the tower. No flash on that Gnar just yet, so they might just have to give up the first blood. Doesn't look like Hong Kong Attitude are going to get much on the back end of this one. Gemini was recalling, actually, so it is going to be the first tower in trade for nothing. I believe Mountain's actually starting up the Rift Herald as well, so they're looking to take a whole heap of objectives off of this one. Ocean Dragon not even being looked at right now by Hong Kong Attitude. Bit questionable play where they're deciding to put their pressure, which is pretty much nowhere at the moment. Looks like Mountain will back off, actually, or at least leash it out. And meanwhile, on the bot side, Albus dropping super low, drops up Braum. I'll try to buy himself some time, but very nice trade there from the side of Hong Kong Attitude on the bot side, turning this matchup around nicely. Heal burnt from Anne. Albus had to drop the exhaust as well. Only Ignite used on the side of Hong Kong Attitude, so definitely an advantage on the bot side. At the moment, this may be where Hong Kong Attitude have to start playing around. Westor taking a healthy amount of damage from Mission. Mountain is in the area, but so is Gemini. We might see a bit of a skirmish here. Gemini waiting around for the counter gank. Of course, Gragas excels at counter ganking. That's really what you want to aim to do, if possible. Nice ward going to be spotting out Mountain. They're going to have the information on him. Mission going to do his best to make Mountain's life as miserable as possible. CS leads, actually, if you close your eyes and don't look at the top lane, Hong Kong Attitude doing a really good job with the Orianna in the mid lane, as well as the Ashe pulling out to a lead. Got to give credit to the Hong Kong Attitude bot lane playing that matchup super well. I mentioned it in Champion Select, but Thresh is actually a really good pick into Braum. You can kind of pick and choose when you want to go in. The wall doesn't really affect you that much at all. It's more of a reactionary, but if you can just walk up and land a flay. The re-engage with the hook is also really strong. Of course, paired with a pick like Ashe, who offers a lot of damage in CC herself, they're going to be feeling pretty good about that bot lane. So far, Hong Kong Attitude not even needing 3 bans. They're staying in this game pretty well. A little bit of a gold lead for AHQ, or hovering around 1,000 at the moment. Thanks to, of course, the first blood. And this massive lead they have in the top side. This may look to be what they try to play around. Ocean Dragon is up. None of these teams placing too high priority onto it. Albus going to be playing bodyguard to Mountain right now as he picks up his red buff. Trinity Force going to be completed pretty soon here on the Corki. This may look to be when they actually start trying to contest these objectives even harder. Once you get that, especially when you have a very strong Renekton like this, you can really exert pressure. So maybe look for AHQ to start making a play once that Corki picks up the Trinity Force. Mountain going to be spotted out here. He does have his team around, so he will be ushered on out there by Albus. Orianna on the roam down. HQ definitely have to respect Hong Kong Attitude's team fighting here. They want to make sure they're able to poke them out a little bit before the team fight starts, or else the engage is very strong on this red side. Unified doing a good job staying even, not only with his Caitlyn, but actually pulling out a little bit of an advantage. Nothing to write home about, but better than nothing. Mountain now setting up aggressively on this bot side. They want to try to punish a mobile AD carry. Lantern will spot out Albus, but not Mountain, crucially. Being very patient about this one. Just wants to maybe even make sure that his bot lane is safe. No vision from the side of Hong Kong Attitude, so they're probably not going to be stepping forward anytime soon. Unless Gemini comes into the area. They seem to know something's up here, as Elise will finally give up on that one. They will be spotted out on this control ward. There's going to be 2 of them they're going to have to clear out. Gemini now just trying to... Seems like he's definitely playing on the defensive for the moment. Just trying to make sure these buffs, or objectives I should say, are warded up. Ziv going to be keeping this pushed in for quite a while, and that'll free him up to actually get the roam off a little bit. May look to make a play onto the mid lane, actually. Mission on this Orianna is going to offer a decent amount of wave clear, but if they decide to just go in on a dive, that won't matter that much. They think better of it, though. Not quite strong enough, they feel, to go in on that one. Looks like it'll be the recall coming out from Albus, trying to get a bit more vision. Picks up a few more control wards. He really wants to secure vision, especially on this bottom side where all the objectives they want to take lie. Just over 15 minutes into this game, 3-3 in kills. Tiny bit of a gold lead coming here for AHQ. They really want to start knocking down these towers. Got the first one already on the top side. And nice ward there by Gemini right before he recalled, actually. He's going to spot out this Rift Herald. And we'll see if they want to contest this one. They do have a good team fight. Trinity Force not yet done on the Corki, so they may want to take advantage of that. They will cause AHQ to back off for this one. Ziv desperately trying to keep it leashed, but it's going to return back to the pit. He's going to be able to clear that one out thanks to the vision plant. So we'll see if they make to return to that one. Unified is going to have to walk back down here to the bot lane to answer this wave. Looks like they will give up the Rift Herald. The call from Hong Kong Attitude. They don't quite have the vision or the resources to want to stay and defend that one. So HQ doing a good job keeping their strong side of the map going here, playing around this big Renekton advantage. Riris is spotting this one out, and they may actually want to go in here. Ult lands onto Ziv, and then he get the stun off, though, and he's just forced to flash out. That is a nice stun landing from the arrow, and that is going to last for so long. It was the longest range one you could imagine. Mission picks up the first kill of the fight. Mountain on the retreat. He has flash. He's going to have to use it if he wants to survive. He does indeed. The follow flash from Gemini. They pick up that kill. Now Ziv dropping low himself. That's 3 for 0 on the side of Hong Kong Attitude. One trade kill picked up. Going over to AHQ. They pick up Kaiwing on that Thresh, who is a little bit out of position on the wrong side of his team. But crucially, that is a very huge one fight from the side of Hong Kong Attitude. I didn't really see who the Rift Herald went over to. If I look in the inventory really quick, it was picked up actually by Mountain. So at least they were able to secure the Rift Herald. But losing that fight, and they will most likely take a big chunk of damage on that top tower as we take a look at this replay. So they did actually want to contest. They just lost vision and didn't think they'd go back in. But as soon as Rivers saw it, he takes advantage of the last bit of Meganar. And it's crucially that arrow that landed. And they were just grouped up faster. Hong Kong Attitude taking advantage of AHQ's a little bit greedy play going for that Rift Herald, underestimating the damage coming out from Hong Kong Attitude. You got to give credit to Unified there with that long bomb Ash arrow, hitting it from downtown. Now all of a sudden, gold lead pretty much even, thanks to those kills picked up on the side of HKA. Trinity Force is now completed for Westdoor, so they may look to try to start grouping around these objectives, especially this bot and mid side. Probably going to look to try to take vision control of this dragon area, maybe even push a little bit far forward. Rivers now feeling pretty confident to go in. Meganar popped. Ziv pops his own ult, though, and nice bit of damage coming down from Ziv. Rivers is going to have to rethink this one. He doesn't have flash. He will have the Mininar soon. He's trying to get the hop away. Not even going to be close. And he's going to be scratching his head as to why he took that fight. Black Cleaver, Bilgewater completed. He was basically a half an item up. And that's going to be 4-2-0 now on this Renekton. Hong Kong Academy taking the advantage of the fact that AHQ pretty much gave up complete vision control of this area. They will pick up the dragon, but it's going to be the Rift Herald summon from Mountain, I'm sure, on this top side. They really want to take down this tower. He's actually saving it for now. So they think they can take it without him, and it looks pretty good for now. So it's going to be a top tower and a kill for a dragon. Definitely worth it for the side of AHQ. They're going to be happy to grab that one up. Some pings going down onto the red buff. They want to grab this and get out as well. Rivers has spawned. They're going to have to be a little bit careful. The roam comes down from the Orianna as well. Looking to dodge out the cocoon here. Not even going to be thrown. Just teasing us. They're going to go ahead and back off. They've learned from their last mistake. They're not going to overstay their welcome here. It's Hong Kong Attitude trying to get back into this bot lane. Gonna have to fight off a few traps though. Good job. Very annoying by Ann. They do slip by just the edge of that one. So the Trap Master not quite thinking that one out fully, gives up that. Red buff was picked up there from Mountain, so patiently waiting it out. Grab that for himself. A little bit of a gold lead now, back in the hands of AHQ after that very good trade on the top side. Riris, unfortunately, for some reason, going in onto the Renekton when he is still very far behind. Gotta say, the team fighting presence from Riris is probably going to be stronger, but in that 1v1, it is definitely the Renekton with the advantage right now. He's given so much resources. He got a lot of the kills, and now he's got Blade of the Ruined King and Black Cleaver completed. He is so powerful right now. HQs really want to look to play around his pressure. That is a lot of damage, though, going on to Mountain. He just gets one shot by Mission. Oh my goodness, the outplay. Now Westor in a lot of trouble. Oh, the barrel arrow combo. Are you kidding me, HKA? They are absolutely making plays right now in this mid game. That is going to be the jungler and the mid laner down. They might look to turn on to Baron here. The only saving grace for HQ right now is how fed this Renekton is. But I don't even think he's going to be able to stop them. It'll be a 5v3. All of a sudden, Hong Kong Attitude, what was looking a little grim, now 2 kills and a Baron over to their side. That is absolutely massive. This is going to do wonders for them if they're able to pick this one up. Looks like AHQ want to contest, though. Here comes the Renekton. It's already going to go down, and that's going to be a TP wasted again for the side of Ziv. He pops the Dominus. That is the saddest looking crocodile I've ever seen. What a shame. Hong Kong Attitude with the huge play as we take a look at this replay. So Mission spots him out. He's like, all right, I'll try to get a little bit poach damage down. Oh, wow, I do a pretty good amount of damage. Mountain just completely forgetting how to play League of Legends there. Does not respect it at all. He really needs to learn to respect the damage coming out of Orianna here. And then that's just a really nice play onto the Corki. The arrow barrel combo. It's a thing of beauty, honestly. Beautiful job by Unified. That's 2 long-range arrows he's hit now that have both ended up in a huge swing for Hong Kong Attitude. Now that they have the Baron, they'll actually be able to group up successfully with this teamfighting comp. And there's not going to be much AHQ can do about it for a while. They may just have to wait it out or look for some sort of miracle pick. They do not want a 5v5 straight-up teamfight. They're looking to more put this Renekton split push to work, as well as the Corki, in an ideal world, of course, but when there's Baron buff and minions pushing in from all sides, they can't exactly do that. As you can see, HKA, they are not going to be unhappy about just grouping up here as 5. Looks like their next target is either going to be this mid lane tower or the bot lane tower. They're probably going to look to roam in between both of these and catch AHQ in a slow rotation. Bottom wave has arrived, and it looks like the blue buff's going to be handed off right now, so might just look to give this tower up. See if HKA actually want to press their advantage here. It's going to be hard to defend these towers, especially for AHQ, because the flank opportunity is so easy. As you can see, Gemini just zoning Westor off. He does not have the flash onto the Corki right now, so he's going to have to play it very safe. Mid-tier, 1 goes down. That is 2 towers now picked up for the side of Hong Kong Attitude, and they're looking to make it 3. Absolutely pounding this one down, and slow on the rotation to get back here. That one's going to go down. Ping's going down onto the bot tier 2 as well. They're looking to absolutely break this game wide open. Already around a 2,000 just over gold lead. After being behind in gold for so long, Hong Kong Attitude feeling really good about the Baron buff take. Taking complete control of this red side area, which is what you want to do in this situation. You're either going to look to get picks or, as we've seen, rotate and get the towers. They see that the Renekton has preemptively grouped, so they're going to have to be a bit careful, of course. Playing around that Gnar bar is always a bit hard. So they will go ahead and recall. They're not going to overstay their boundaries. They say, okay, we got enough. We're going to go back off for now. They're actually going to get another turret in the top lane. They want to return to be able to defend this one in the mid lane as well. 8-5 in kills for Hong Kong Attitude. 23.5 minutes into this game. They pulled out to a very healthy gold lead, around 4,000 now. 4 towers to 2. They still got a little bit of time left on this Baron if they want to take anything more off of it. Bottom lane wave is not quite pushed in, so they can't rotate down there. May just look to use the rest of this Baron to get some extra vision control. Rotating to this top side. Might even look to start to pressure this tower. They really want to shut down this Renekton, who has the majority of the gold on AHQ right now. Riris on that Gnar, his rage bar is getting pretty healthy, so this is when AHQ's got to respect the dive coming out from Hong Kong Attitude. If they see the opportunity, you can bet they will. That trap line is not quite going to block off everything. Cloud Drake is spawning. I see pings onto that, so Hong Kong Attitude not going to push their lead too far. They're going to be playing this a little bit more patiently. Not even necessarily like they get outscaled. I mean, Westor and Ann on those 2 late game AD carries are going to be doing a very healthy amount of damage, but Hong Kong Attitude actually have the front line advantage by a pretty decent margin. So they may be happy taking this to, maybe not late game, but at least playing this a bit more patiently. They're in no hurry. It's only 25 minutes into this one. They want to stick to their team composition's winning formula and keep grouped together. Start trying to put pressure on these waves nice and slow. They don't want to get picked off. go ahead and back in their base. Lock it picked up from Kaiwing. Going to make these team fights even more one-sided if they're able to get off a clean one. Very healthy gold lead, as I mentioned. Looks like Unified's going to be able to pick up that red buff. He's actually going for the Energizer build onto the Ashe here, so looking for maximum damage onto the single target, which I like. There's only one tank, if you can even call him that. He's more of a bruiser on the side. So Hurricane's a lot better if you're going to be hitting like 2 or 3 tanks on the front line, but if you're actually just going to be going for those max damage single target builds, I do prefer the Energizer build that he's gone for. And as you can see, the 80 carry power right now is very imbalanced. He's an entire item up on the side of Anne, so all those objectives and Baron's paying off quite a bit for Unified. He's feeling nice and healthy on that Ashe. Kaiwing may be fishing for a hook here outside of vision range. The rotation is going to be a little bit slow from the side of AHQ, and this might just be the tower going down. Hook to zone them off. Gemini going to be doing a good job playing that front line. See, Caitlyn still doing a respectable amount of damage, but not quite enough to push them off. So they do pick up another tower. That's 5-2 now towers in favor of Hong Kong Attitude. As you can see, this Renekton's still able to put some pressure on, but it's dwindling in the amounts he can do. That stall with the Baron buff and that huge teamfight victory made it so that Riris on this Gnar was able to buy a lot of time and start to even out this matchup a little bit. They are looking to take it over once again, though. Mountain has returned here. Riris has got to be a bit careful, although Mission is here to back up his top laner. Not exactly sure who this 2v2 would go for. I have to give it over to Hong Kong Attitude, and they're going to go in aggressively. Renekton knows he has no chance of hitting that one. Oh, the flash. That arrow would have landed. Unified. Seems like he's using some sort of scripts this game for those arrows. He is absolutely deadly accurate with them. Forces the flash out of Mountain, and that aggression is turned around nicely by Hong Kong Attitude, who are all of a sudden going to back off for now. Baron will be spawning in another 30 seconds, so they want to make sure they're over there to get complete vision control. And this is AHQ's worst nightmare right now, actually. They have no pressure in any of the lanes. The Baron is spawning, so they're going to be forced into taking a team fight worst case scenario. That is not what they want to be doing right now. They want to be able to utilize the side lane pressure using that Renekton and Corki combination, and then group up and poke off Hong Kong Academy. That's a flash forward and get a net away, and ooh, very good patience and understanding of how the cask and net works from Ann there, saving his flash. A lot of players might have just straight up flashed that one, but he's got the timing down. He's confident about that one. A little bit of vision here still for the side of AHQ. Hong Kong Academy is going to look to completely blind them out here. They got Ashe arrow almost up as well. So much pick tools on the side of Hong Kong Academy. If AHQ step just a little bit too far forward and aren't prepared for it, they could get turned on in an instant. At the same time, Hong Kong Attitude have a pretty decent Baron take. It's not the worst, it's not the best. Especially considering how far they are ahead right now, though. They can take it pretty quickly. Probably going to wait for that Scuttle Crab to fall away, then look to actually really make these plays. Actually might just go over the wall. They're starting it up. Cheeky start here from the side of Hong Kong Attitude. They know they have decent amounts of damage, and they're showing a few members here trying to persuade AHQ to say, no, we're not on the Baron. Don't worry about it. It's already down to half HP. And there's no chance that AHQ is getting in here to steal this one. They know it's going down now, but it's too late. That is going to be another Baron to the side of Hong Kong Attitude. Beautifully played there. I really love that play coming out. They're playing mind games with AHQ right now. Saying, oh yes, we're just going to control vision and wait for picks. Don't worry about it. They blast going over the wall. And pick it up for themselves. 2-man the Baron. And now this is really where Hong Kong Attitude can shut this game down. They can break open the base here, start flooding into super minions. They can really shut down the split pushing coming out from the side of AHQ. It will be very hard for them to play to their win conditions. Still quite a ways from late game, and even if they make it there, they still debatably have a worse team fight. Bot tower is the last one that is not a base tower remaining here. That's the tier 2 is being pressured by Riris, and it's looked like they're going to be forced to give that one up. Gemini and Kaiwing doing a good job zoning them off. That's going to be another tower to the side. As you can see, Corki trying to get some pressure in this top lane. I don't think it's going to do it. Meanwhile, we have a pick in the mid lane. Ziv gets absolutely popped by the Orianna. The ult came down, catching him off guard. He thinks he's tanky, but he's not. He only has 2 pieces of a defensive item. That is going to be an inhibitor tower going down on the bot side. HKA breaking this base wide open. They're going to take the first inhibitor of the game. And now they're going to be looking to rotate to mid. Possibly even bring that top wave down. As you can see, that's probably where Riris is going right now. Got the TP up and available, so he feels confident. And now Westor might be a bit caught out. He does have the package, but he's way far away from home. Looks like they're not going to bother to chase him. He's pretty fast with that package. They're just going to push him out. Seemed like almost he was trying to proxy a little bit, buying his team as much time as possible. And Hong Kong Attitude are going to say, why not? Let's pick up this Cloud Drake while we're on the way. Just give us a little bit extra roaming potential. Gemini looks like he's just a little bit AFK now right now. And there's the pause coming out, as you can see. Maybe his mouse stopped working, it seemed like there. Unfortunate time to have your equipment break down, so we're going to see what this pause is all about. The magic of VODs, we're going to be able to jump back into the action here, and we are back. Cloud Drake was picked up by the side of Hong Kong Attitude. That's 3 Drakes now to 0 for their side, 7 towers to 2, 9 kills to 5. I really like how Hong Kong Attitude are playing their team fighting comp successfully, but also being able to take objectives off the back end of it, which is what you see a lot of teams struggle with. Sometimes they get played around the map a little bit too much, by teams like AHQ especially. So I'm glad to see that. And I'm very glad to see them pushing in both this top and mid wave at once. The arrow, ooh, just barely not going to catch out Ziv. He's going to live on that Crocodile. Still has his flash off if he needed it, so. Hong Kong Attitude now going to look to push in the mid and top tower at the same time. Be looking for the trifecta on inhibitors, and there's not a lot AHQ can do right now except for pray for some sort of miracle botch dive. Baron's still going to be up for a little bit of time. Shockwave lands onto On. He actually forced a flash and QSS away. That is a crucial summoner down, and that Shockwave is not going to be down for long. They'll probably just look to stall out until it's back up. Now, again, pressure being exerted from 2 lanes now. They're just going to rotate over after the mid lane goes down and just take this inhibitor. Team comp that AHQ drafted is not going to be doing well from behind. I can promise you that. They just have no way. It's so hard for them to engage on these fights. Their engage is very hit or miss. They have the Braum ult, but that's so telegraphed. They have the Elise Cocoon. That's so hard to hit sometimes. And other than that, you just basically got Ziv jumping in on a not-so-tanky Renekton anymore. It's going to be the second inhibitor in this past minute going down, 3 in total. And they're going to be having their base fall apart. They're looking for that last desperation team fight. 1 Nexus tower already going down. Rivers is like, hey guys, I'm just going to play PvE over here. He's taking down the second one. Nexus under fire. HKA playing for the kills. They grab that one up onto Westor. Renekton doing his best to defend it, but he is not very tanky, as we've mentioned before. Nice ult coming out of Riris. Gonna knock back 2 members. They pick up another kill and another one. 3 kills already. And that is going to be the game and the series going to the side of Hong Kong Attitude with the huge upset. You can see they are absolutely thrilled to have pulled that one off. A little bit of disbelief almost on their faces. And all you got to say is well played. Picking the team compositions and executing them. The first game we saw 2 very similar team compositions with 2 split pushers. And Hong Kong Academy were able to use theirs better. And then in this game we saw the split push again coming from the side of AHQ, but they just gave up too many advantages in the early game, and Hong Kong Academy were able to group up, take the objectives, knock them down, and completely kill the pressure of the Renekton, who was their only winning lane at the time. Beautifully played by them. GG, well played. Looking forward to seeing these guys play again in the future as well. Hugs all around. You guys have earned it.